Oh, go live. Okay, let's wait for this to start kicking in. Hold on. Right. Hi everyone there on Instagram, also on Facebook, and hopefully YouTube will go live in a second. Tap to invite viewers. Hey guys, how's it going? Hello sir, how are you? Go live. Okay, now we're going live. Ooh, my lens is a bit dirty on this, 1 sec. Okay, we are officially live, hopefully on 3 different channels. Very good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Namaste. To everyone back in Nepal, namaste, namaste, and namaste. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at the same time. So I'm going to try my best to give you a bit of a rundown, a bit of a preview of the Asia Cup 2023. We're on the eve of what's basically history. Well, it is history for Nepal fans anyway, but also just on the eve of a brilliant tournament in general. Let's see if we can get that a bit brighter. Don't know why that's not a bit brighter. Namaste everyone. So huge tournament to look forward to. Going to run through how the tournament will work firstly. So we've got 6 teams coming together. Nepal obviously taking the qualification spot from the ACC Men's Premier Cup, which was in Kathmandu. I was there with all you guys in Nepal. Amazing scenes for that final game against UAE. And they're joining the 5 test nations. That's the hosts, which are Pakistan, even though a lot of the games are being played in Sri Lanka. So Pakistan, Sri Lanka, India, Bangladesh and Afghanistan, the 5 test nations being joined by Nepal as the solitary associate. So look, the way it works is reasonably simple, but I'm going to run through it really quickly. The 6 teams are separated into 2 groups of 3, and those 2 groups of 3 are Group A, where Pakistan, India and Nepal play out, and the tournament gets going tomorrow with the day-nighter between Pakistan and Nepal, the first meeting ever in an official T20I between Nepal and Pakistan. And that's going to be at the Multan Cricket Stadium, and then we'll get the Group B action going the next day, Bangladesh taking on Sri Lanka in what many are referring to as the Group of Death, with Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and Afghanistan all together. Really tough. Just 2 teams go through from each of the groups, and then once you get through the group, all the sides join each other without carrying any points through in a Super 4. That Super 4 is pretty simple as well. Quite simply, you've got to finish in the top 2 to get to the final. And the great thing about this year's Asia Cup, Asian Cricket Council have done something really clever. Every year there is a the main ICC format. That is the one that it joins, if that makes sense. So this year being a World Cup year, a 50 over World Cup year, it means that the way it will work is that this will be played in a 50 over format, all official ODIs of course, building up to the grand final, which will be held in the Premadasa Stadium in Colombo. I was there last month. Beautiful ground. That will be on the 17th September. So about 2.5 weeks of cricket altogether, then a couple of weeks break for the major teams. All 5 actually of those test nations are going to the World Cup from Asia. So we're basically in for a feast of ODI cricket over the next 3 months. Firstly with the Asia Cup run by the Asian Cricket Council, and then the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup. So a very hello to everyone, and thanks for all of the kind messages coming in. 9 people requested to be in the live video. I think we're not going to do that for now. If we get somebody I know coming in, maybe they can join us on Instagram as well. But yeah, very hello. I thought we'd do about an hour together here on the live stream. I'd run through the squads and then probably just do 45 minutes of questions or something like that. So firstly, that's the tournament structure, the tournament format. For the squads, well, we see the 6 captains have been named. Hashmatullah Shahidi of Afghanistan, Shakib Al Hassan, who's coming back to the ODI captaincy of Bangladesh, Rohit Sharma, after a bit of a break after the Caribbean tour. He returns. He wasn't here in Ireland, the games that I was doing. Then we've got Rohit Paudel, who will be captaining Nepal, Babar Azam captaining the hosts Pakistan, and Dasin Chanakya, I suppose they're co-hosts Sri Lanka, aren't they, captaining the Sri Lankan side. Remember, Sri Lanka technically reigning champions, although that was in the T20 format. You'd think India probably favourites, although Pakistan possibly rivalling them for that, particularly with the fact that they're the #1 ranked side in the world right now, after what was a really entertaining 3-0 series victory over Afghanistan. Now, they didn't have it all their own way within that time, and in fact, we'll get that straightened back up. There it is there. They didn't have it their own way at all. In fact, Afghanistan probably should have won the second game. We did see the Mankad rear its head again, but we're not going to get into that today. So in terms of the form coming in, Afghanistan going out to a 3-0 defeat to Pakistan. That was in Sri Lanka. Nepal haven't really played much outside of that Cricket World Cup qualifier, which was about 6 weeks ago now. Thought they had, on the whole, a pretty good tournament, although they'll have been disappointed not to take a first win over a Test nation. They had a really good chance of doing that against Ireland, and they also showed against Zimbabwe with that 190-odd run partnership in the opening game that they can mix it against the Test nations. For them, it's going to be a lot about experience. Bangladesh have been in sensational form, beating England at home on home soil. I was there in Dhaka doing one of those games as they completed the Banglawash, as they called it, a 3-0 victory over England, the reigning world champions. And then Sri Lanka, well, you never quite know what you're going to get, do you? They can blow a little bit hot and cold. Sometimes brilliant, sometimes maybe not quite as good. But it all gets going tomorrow, and you have to say the excitement levels, particularly in Nepal, where I know almost all the viewers are tuning in from. I was requested to do this to make sure that we got in and could enjoy all the action tomorrow. We're going to also have a bit of an announcement, which I'll get to in about 5 minutes' time. We'll get that at the 10-minute mark. But yeah, want to do a little bit of a preview, particularly of tomorrow's game. And thanks so much to Durgan Jashi, who says, I'm watching you on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube at the same time. That's pretty impressive. Good dedication, Durgan. Namaste and Dandavad. So yeah, let's have a run through the two teams for tomorrow, or certainly projected or predicted 11s, I suppose would be the best way to look at it. For me, you'd have to say that Babar Azam and Shadab Khan, captain and vice-captain of Pakistan, will both definitely play. Mohammad Rizwan, obviously, as well. Pakistan have announced they're playing 11. Okay, have they? Well, let me see if I can get that up. I'll actually be able to run you through that then. Usually the Pakistan Cricket Board team are brilliant on all of their social media channels. So let me see if I can get that up. They have announced their team. Thank you. Good spot. Okay, let's run through that 11 then for Pakistan. And we'll go through it here. Okay, so the Pakistan 11, captained by Babar Azam, Shadab Khan as the vice-captain, then Fakhar Zaman, the opening batter, alongside Imam ul Haq. Always love a bespectacled cricketer, good opening batter. Salman Ali Aga, Iftikhar Ahmed, Mohammad Rizwan, the keeper batter, Mohammad Nawaz, and then that pace trio. That's the big test tomorrow, being honest, for Nepal to take on Naseem Shah, Shaheen Shah Afridi and Haris Rauf. That is going to be tough. We saw Nepal particularly have their problems against pace down in Zimbabwe on what were pretty bouncy wickets. I know it was winter in Africa, but generally the wickets were pretty bouncy. I'm not 100% sure. I think Multan does take a bit of turn, but that pace trio, that's going to be the test for the likes of Kushal Bertel, Asif Sheikh and the Nepali top order. Can they survive, particularly Shaheen Shah Afridi, who has that amazing ability. We saw him do it again in the 100, swinging the ball back in with his left hand. So, look, massive test for Nepal's top order. Might be the kind of day, particularly with the occasion and so much on the line for Nepal. It might be the kind of day where you would imagine that you'll see Nepal looking to bowl first, just get into the game. Now, Abhishek Banzara, good question. That's the next part I want to get to. Let's see if we can talk about the predicted Nepal 11 on starting 11 from their squad. I think it's a 17-player squad, so there's plenty of options in the squad. But for me, if we're going to talk about their starting 11, okay, I'm going to do this in batting order, and feel free to disagree with me. I think, are they going to leave out Arif Sheikh or are they going to leave out Bim Sharkey? It's between those two for me. I think Lalit Rajbanshi has to play. He's no option. He has to play. So if Rajbanshi's playing, that would make the starting 11 for me. Kushal Bertel and Asif Sheikh will obviously open the batting. If Bim Sharkey's playing, he'll bat number 3, Rohit Paudel at 4. And then the question is it Kushal Mallin at 5 or is it Gulshan Jha or Dipendra Singh Airi? That's that kind of 5, 6, 7 that can rotate. I just wonder whether or not who they're going to leave out. Then down to the bowlers, Karen KC at 8, Sampal Kami, or maybe Sampal Kami at 8, Karen KC or Sandeep Lamachani at 9 and 10. And then I think they have to pick Lalit Rajbanshi with his consistency. That would mean the unlucky players, Pratish GC, I think his time will come, but not yet. Sandeep Jora, Arjun Saud, Mausam Dakal and Kishore Mahado. Just the big question is, do they go with Arif Sheikh or Bim Sharkey? I don't know. I don't think there's room for both of them if they end up picking the left arm spin of Lalit Rajbanshi. If they go that way, they're going to have to go with one of the two between Bim Sharkey and then, of course, Arif Sheikh. I don't know which way I would veer. I just think you have to pick Lalit Rajbanshi. He's been so good. His numbers for the year, averaging under 20 in ODI cricket, an economy rate of under 4 in ODI cricket. He's going to give them that control in the middle. And even though there are left-handers in the Pakistan order, he's actually a very good bowler to left-hand batters. He takes the ball away from them with deliveries that don't turn very well. You can also bowl around the wicket and close off that angle very cleverly. So I think the 6 unlucky. I haven't nailed my colours to the mast, have I? I don't know whether it's going to be Arif Sheikh or Bim Sharkey. I have a good feeling that, with no Gyanendra Mala, surely Bim Sharkey has to play. So if that's the case, maybe it's going to be Arif Sheikh who's going to be the unlucky one to miss out. 12 into 11 doesn't go. The ones that are nailed on for me would be Kushal Bertel, Asif Sheikh, Rohit Paudel, Kushal Mala, Gulshan Jad, Dipender Singh Airi, Karen KC, Sampal Kami, Sandeep Lamachani. So if Rajbanshi plays, I think it's one between two of Bim Sharkey and Arif Sheikh. Whoever plays, I know they'll represent with a huge amount of pride, and we're getting messages all over from Nepal in particular. We're going to get to those comments now in the coming minutes. Okay, announcement time. So just thought I'd give you a little bit of background and explain why I'm currently in Ireland right now. I know this screen's a little bit dark. I don't know why this one's dark. We make this one brighter. I'm not sure if we can make it brighter, but anyway, hopefully it's not too dark. Say if you can see me all right there on YouTube and the volume and audio is all okay. So a bit of an announcement. I was very nearly going to be coming for the Asia Cup. Obviously a couple of weeks ago I told you that I'd missed out on the commentary panel for Star Sports, but then we had a little bit of discussions in recent times to see if I could get into Pakistan just for that first game. Just with a few logistical issues, it didn't quite work out, which is really sad. I was then considering coming to Kathmandu just to take up the atmosphere and enjoy some of the action in Nepal, but that didn't quite work out either. So tomorrow I've got to play in a game, a cricket match. I'm playing for an Ireland 11 against a Pakistan 11 in the Phoenix Park in Dublin. That's at 4 o'clock my time, so I think about 9 o'clock out in Asia. But it means that I'm free in the morning. I've got an appearance on Pakistani television first thing in the morning about 9 AM. And I've had loads of requests to do a watch along of the game. So we'll watch the game together. We'll stick it up on YouTube and on Instagram. I'll have a big screen with the match on. And I'll just commentate over the game and we can talk about it together. I can answer any of your questions live. I can't do it for the full match, but I am going to do it for the first innings tomorrow. And I'm going to do that from the Phoenix Cricket Club in Dublin tomorrow. And taking the action. So my thanks to the Phoenix Cricket Club for making that happen, making that possible. And yeah, we'll take in all the action together. We'll watch the first innings at least, maybe even a little bit of the second innings. And because it's an Ireland 11 against a Pakistan 11, I think we've got a few different kind of quite well-known Pakistani players playing, or former internationals. So what we'll do is I'll see if I can get a couple of the Pakistan guys in to join me and tell me what they think of Nepali cricket, give me a bit more background on the Nepal side, and yeah, certainly we'll really have a lot of fun with it. And hopefully then for the India game I'll be able to do a full watch along if I can't get out to Sri Lanka, which I don't think is going to be possible at this late notice. Okay, so time to get some questions. So we're about 12-15 minutes in. We're going to go for an hour, so we've got 45 minutes of questions. What we might do is, why don't we start with, what's got the biggest viewership? Wow, okay, lots on Facebook. Let's start with Facebook. Okay, so guys, it's on you here on Facebook. On YouTube, we'll get to the questions, so line them up there in the chat. And on Instagram, you're going to come last. Okay, so questions now, questions about the Asia Cup itself, questions about Nepal, questions about Pakistan, questions about the hosts. Are you confused about the format, how it's all going to work? How do I think the teams are going to do? Who do I think is going to be the winner? Whatever you want to ask, just get those questions in. Okay, so we'll start with you. And remember, when you're asking your questions, will you tell me where you're asking from as well? Because then I'll be able to give you a little shout out and let you know. Okay, so people watching from Toronto, lovely to hear from you on Instagram. People watching from India, people watching on from, well, lots of Nepal fans. Okay, now Suman Manali says Gulshan is injured, the Takludai. Takludai, for those who don't know, that's my nickname there. If the Instagram keeps falling over. That means bald, which I very much am, freshly shaved. And Taklu is bald, and then elder brother is Dai. So yeah, one of our guys there saying that potentially Gulshan is injured, Suman Manali. I really hope that's not the case, Suman. And I'm hoping that, in fact, he's fit to go, because he's been picked by the ICC as one of the players to watch. And rightly so. Ian Bishop, who I was down commentating with on the Men's Cricket World Cup qualifier in Zimbabwe, he thought the world of Gulshan Jazz, a young all-rounder. Okay, next question. Let's get to them as we go. Yeah, looking forward to the watch along.